is a special presentation of 1620 The Zone and the 1620 The Zone mobile app. This hour of the Men's College World Series special on 1620 The Zone is presented by Union Bank and Trust. People don't have your money has people. Member FDIC. 1620 The Zone is live at the Omaha Baseball Village. Powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason, yours. And Children's Nebraska. Here are your hosts for today's broadcast, Josh Peterson and Mike Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
It's like we just left. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer with you from the Omaha Baseball Village. Schaefer, we need a sign that says, sorry, we don't know what time the game's going to start.
Indefinite weather delay.
Indefinite weather delay.
I would also like a sign that says, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
I told you you could go home. I said, Schaefer, you got a party to go to.
I can't abandon you. Nobody needs to hear you for 3+ hours of potential weather-induced radio.
I have Josh Otson to my left. Josh Otson and I could just review movies for 3 hours. See?
You could just read his tweets for 3 hours of movie reviews.
Hey, you know what? We're going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel at some point.
Should have created a game in the event that there was a weather delay.
We had been kind of primed all day long that something bad could happen.
Yeah.
Josh,
It had gone so
film
well.
by film David Fincher, Deep Dives.
Oh, I just rewatched all the Fincher movies / watched 2 for the first time recently.
Which ones?
Aliens 3 and Benjamin Button. I'd never seen those before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you watched Aliens 3 specifically because it's a David Fincher
I was
movie?
doing a David Fincher rewatch in honor of his new movie that came out last October, The Killer.
So you're doing a David Fincher rewatch in honor of something that occurred 7, 8 months prior.
Well, to be fair, I started it around the time the movie came out, but I hadn't gotten around to rewatching.
Very slow at watching movies.
It took me a long time to watch Mank.
Understandable.
I liked it. For the record, I liked it. Second time, first time I saw it was 2020. Weird time in nation's history.
You should have just rewatched Mindhunter instead.
I did. That was the one thing. I didn't rewatch his commercials either, but I didn't rewatch Mindhunter. But I read a book about David Fincher, and I was like, I kind of want to rewatch Mindhunter. My lovely wife, got me a book about David Fincher for Christmas. So I was reading that as I was watching the movies.
Did you watch Aliens 2 to prepare yourself to watch Aliens 3?
I did.
Okay, I was going to make fun of you even more if you had just jumped straight to Aliens 3.
That is actually a part of the reason why it took me so long to watch Aliens 3.
Because you couldn't find Aliens 2 anywhere?
No, because I hadn't watched it. And I didn't want to skip. I didn't want to miss out on important plot points, which I would have. There was the little girl in Aliens. Isn't that one just called Aliens, I believe?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
I liked it. I didn't like Aliens 3.
Okay.
I didn't like that. My favorite Fincher movie is Social Network.
Good movie.
And then probably 7 or Zodiac.
Zodiac would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, Zodiac is awesome. My wife and I watched that around Christmas time. We had a lovely evening. I made an old-fashioned.
Out of context.
What?
Zodiac is awesome.
It is a great movie.
About a serial killer that's never been solved.
That's why it's great. Man,
He's still out there, potentially preying on people.
Yeah, who do you think?
I like it.
Who do you think it was? So the movie presents 2 main options,
So
right?
the
There's
Lee
the
guy,
guy
right?
who does Arthur Lee Allen is
Yeah.
who a lot of people think it was.
That's
Because
the
he's
one
like,
that makes
the blood was chickens. I swear it wasn't a human being.
that's the one that makes the most sense.
I think so too.
And like as someone, whenever conspiracy type things come up, I just tend to lean towards the simplest
most obvious.
solution,
Ted Cruz.
which is why there was only one
Nice, Josh.
shooter for JFK. if
Oh,
we will.
interesting. We can
Yeah.
debate that in our next segment.
I mean, we might as well just do a deep dive of conspiracy theories.
That's a great. Oh,
since we have 3 hours to kill.
Josh, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Wow, there's just so many.
There's so many.
That's like asking me to pick my favorort child.
Don't you only have one child, though?
That's true.
Yeah, I was
do.
gonna say.
Easy to narrow it down there.
Moon landing? Are you a moon landing guy?
No, I
All
believe in the moon landing.
All right, that's good.
That I get annoyed when people refer to that as a conspiracy.
John does too. I've joked about it with John. He does not appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
really
think it's
doesn't like when you joke
it's an
about it.
incredibly mean-spirited way to diminish the accomplishment of man.
Mean spirited, diminish.
I hope I hope that Buzz Aldrin punches you in the face.
I would never say it. I don't think it's true. I just think it's fun.
Yeah, you want to just like poke fun at this incredible accomplishment.
I just got a message to someone. Wait, you have to do a show until it starts? We do. We're going to be on the air until the game starts or until they announce that they can't play it today, which apparently
Whatever comes first.
yeah, and my guess is both of those would probably be at about the same time, which is like 8:30.
So do you have
8:30.
any running clock as to when we're supposed to go to break and when we need to do?
Yeah, I
or
know.
can you just make it up as you go along?
No, we'll do the usual quarters, 8:15. I'm just thinking about 2 hours from now. No, about 6:15.
So our
6:30,
first break is
6:45.
going to be at 8:15.
We got a lot of content coming up. Again, that's why we're sitting here
Yeah,
talking
that's good.
about Zodiac.
We could just reenact Zodiac word for word.
All right, so we're on the date. The beginning of the movie is the date that's happening. You the girl?
No, I can be the girl.
All right,
Setting.
cool.
San
You're on the left, so
Francisco.
you're
Yeah.
universally driving right now.
Okay, which one of us gets to be Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, I'll volunteer for that. If no
All
one
right,
else will.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm saying I want to be Jake Gyllenhaal here.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right, there you go. Augustine tweets in, can you get Stibbs and Steve Sipple back for a segment? Yeah, why not?
Stibbs was here
Just
after
call
you
him.
guys left.
Yeah, this is unreal. Shape and I, we go have lunch earlier, and Mike Stibbs, who I've seen more in the last week and talked to more in the last week than I feel like I have in the last 3 months.
I like that guy. I'm going to come out and say it.
He's a great guy. People are
A
fans.
controversial take.
Everybody
Thank
is
you.
like, I would trade anybody at the Zone to have Stibbs back.
I don't know
Wow.
about anybody.
Anybody at the Zone?
I think if you offered that to a lot of listeners and you said anybody at the Zone, they'd say, sign me up.
Is it like the principle
question.
that there's someone that they know that's even more miserable than they are, and they appreciate the fact that there's someone that's under that baseline?
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
I think he props people up from that
Yeah.
alone.
Well, and now remember his mindset is nothing matters.
Right, which only adds to
But
the.
he says it now with a smile on his face. It used to be nothing matters. Now it's nothing matters. There's a difference. A text that I just got from a friend of mine. What are you doing? LOL. We're having a great time. What do you mean? It's a couple friends sitting around chit-chatting before we get into the meat of our show tonight.
Hey, it
which
wouldn't
is-
be the first time 3 people just decided to reenact the movie Zodiac.
It happens often. What do you think they do in college these days?
They certainly don't go out.
No, they just sit on TikTok and then they reenact Zodiac on TikTok. No, we have some. There's the poll question. Would you give up anyone on 60-20 the Zone for Stibbs? Thank you very much, Josh. We have a great show planned for you tonight. Talk some.
We planned this?
We'll talk a little NFL because you and I love talking
Oh.
about the NFL. There's been something that I've had on my prep sheet all week long that we have not had a chance to talk about. So we could get around to that as well. Plus, we had that great story earlier about Tom Brady's cheat meal being one buffalo wing. And I wanted to ask you about Tom Brady
Horrendous.
in the broadcast booth and get your takes and get your thoughts on that.
When someone is that weird, is it hard for you to take them serious in any other facet?
Probably. Yeah. All right. Well, please edit that word out of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely weird. Look,
That's all right. It happens.
They think we're a podcast. You're allowed to say those words on podcasts, right? Yeah, he is weird. So is it hard for me to take anything seriously that he says? Great question. I don't know. I feel like everyone's weird in their own ways. If they're, I don't know, in any
Josh,
any
his
level.
cheat meal is one wing.
I said that I reward myself with one.
First of
song
all, that's
after
not even a
round.
meal.
It's not. It's not even a snack.
That's a loose definition of anything.
It's a trip to Sam's Club where they say, "Hey, do you
Sometimes
want
you
to
just
try
happen
this?"
to eat a wing and you didn't even intend to.
Yeah, exactly.
That shouldn't affect your whole day in terms of meal planning,
Yeah, exactly. It's one wing. There's like 15 calories in one wing.
unless it's lemon pepper.
Then it's like 25 calories. You know how fast you can burn 15 calories? It does not take that long to burn 15 calories.
I don't know.
All right. You walk
I know
point.
as a large individual, I burn them faster than others.
Bingo. So you could burn them. I would.
Tomorrow on the sun, when we're doing the radio, I will be burning calories at an alarming rate.
I feel like, Shape, if you went for a walk right now, here to the parking area, lot D, you will burn more than 15 calories.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
So think about that. Now, Tom Brady, for him, he would probably
10-minute walk.
He'd probably have to walk to like block 16 from here. I think that's how he would burn 15 calories. A little longer of a walk. Because
he would. No.
For me, I burn a calorie per about 0.15 or 0.01. So 0.01 miles to me is 1 calorie. So I think for Tom, it's probably less because I bet his resting heart rate is super low. I bet his resting heart rate is in like the 40s. So
welcome
Bingo.
to indefinitely suspended weather radio. We are discussing Tom Brady's resting heart rate.
Hey, here we go. What's your resting heart rate? 402.
I don't know.
No, this is for the audience. You don't know what your resting heart rate is? You don't check your resting heart rate?
Why would I?
You don't have a watch on anymore.
Yeah, it died. I didn't charge it.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened.
Charlie says, 1 wing for Tom Brady, 1 song for Josh Peterson. Exactly. Am I that much weirder than Tom Brady?
Yes. Well.
Wow.
Great question.
Okay. Well, that's a topic that we can explore today. We need your topic alerts. By the way, Sam McKeown just put out a tweet. CWS crew putting on the tarp at 6:09. Don't expect this one to start until at least 8 and maybe later, related to the time it takes for storms to clear.
Well, that all tracks.
You know what? If you don't like resting heart rate talk, blame the NCAA.
I blame them a lot.
This is what they have done for us. All right, we will return. I promise that we will get to some sports when we come back. We'll talk a little sports and sports-related topics. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, Josh Hodson with you. We're here at the Omaha Baseball Village. If you are just joining us, if you're walking by, or you're just getting in your car, Texas A&M in Florida has been delayed. We don't know for how long, but we're expecting it's going to be a while as the tarp just went on the field at at the Chalk. That's the second time this week. Quarter. Got to put a quarter in the quarter jar. More to come. 16-20 the zone.
Baseball fans, get in the action when you get your tickets at ticketsforless.com or through the Tickets for Less app. Right now, you can score extra savings on your tickets when you use promo code THEZONE at checkout. That's right. Tickets for Less is offering exclusive discounts on baseball tickets with code THEZONE. Simply visit ticketsforless.com or download the free Tickets for Less app from your app store today. And the best part, Tickets for Less never charges added service fees. Every seat holds a story. Find yours and save at ticketsforless.com.
To be a part of Nebraska Medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity, to advancement and impact, to extraordinary teamwork.
That went really well.
Together, for each other and for our community. Because within the doors of Nebraska Medicine,
good to see you.
We welcome your curiosity, value your voice.
Dr. Richards, what do you think?
And partner with you to chart your path to do the extraordinary. Together.
You got this.
This is our commitment we never take for granted. Because when you open the doors
Let me get that.
to Nebraska Medicine, you open yourself to an academic experience, a life experience, an extraordinary team experience beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong.
Ready?
Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers.
Security equipment makes sure you're always safe at home. SEI gives you time to focus on what really matters. Whether it's your home or business, we protect life and property with all the latest Honeywell home and First Alert products by monitoring for security, fire, carbon monoxide, flood, and temperature. 24/7, 365. We provide peace of mind by connecting services like security, video, and automation in one system. Visit SEIsecurity.com to set up a free consultation. SEI is a First Alert Pro Residio Premier Partner.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
Experience the difference and save more when you shop at one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations. And right now, it's more affordable than ever to get behind the wheel of a new vehicle when you visit a Woodhouse Ford dealership. Going on now. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT with approved credit. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/08/2024. See dealer for details.
Curveballs belong in baseball, not your bank. When you choose Access Bank for your personal or commercial banking needs, you'll know what to expect every time. Personalized, all-in-one service from experts who know banking and the Omaha Metro. Access Bank has convenient branch locations and easy online solutions. Because we're here for a reason, to make your experience a home run. Learn more at accessbank.com. Member FDIC.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Velocity is currently seeking participants to wear a Fitbit watch for 31 days with compensation of up to $200. Some other current studies includes low T, COPD, flu, pediatric, infant, and RSV. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages. See current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com, compensation for study-related time and travel, and find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
Take me out to the Rib Shack.
Take me out with the crowd.
Buy me some ribs, brisket, and some mac.
I don't care if I never get back. Let me eat at the Rib Shack.
In every bite, there's a win.
For it's 1, 2, 3 slabs you're in at the old Rib Shack.
Rib Shack Smokehouse, 108th and Q.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Oh, Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer with you on this Saturday night. The tarp is on the field at Charles Schwab Field, and we are awaiting any word whatsoever on what this could mean. Mike Schaefer, you were just in your lab looking at weather. Any takes?
Yeah, it looks like we could have some action starting around 7 with some severe weather hitting. And then carrying into the 9 o'clock hour with rain still potentially in the forecast. Also lightning, which makes it hard to get things started. But the good news is there's a cell behind that one that could be starting after 10 o'clock.
Oh.
So it does not seem like there's much of a window here other than the present to get things going.
I asked a question on Twitter earlier, when is this thing supposed to get played? And Kenny just responded, Sunday at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
A little breakfast with Dad, a little baseball with Dad for the folks around here on Father's Day. No official word, though. The things that we know right now, there is a delay, obviously. That's why we're talking.
Yeah.
It is indefinite at this moment in time, and the tarp is on the field. So those are the things that we know, and we just kind of are waiting any sort of word elsewhere. And
do we have a ballpark figure for how long it takes for them? You get the tarp off, get the field ready to play, get the teams.
Great question.
It's usually about a 30-40 minute thing, right?
I believe that. So that's
obviously going to be baked into when the start time.
Correct. So the word is always 35. Is it? I guess I don't want to say numbers and be wrong on them, but it's about a half-ish hour last lightning strike to starting is what the rule is in that regard. You add a little bit of time baked in there to get everything set up, though, because, you only realize maybe it's the last lightning strike, and then you can finally start working on some stuff, and then you go forward from there. By the way, I just got a text. We were discussing resting heart rates. 55 for this listener.
Wow.
55 resting heart rate. That's not Tom Brady good, but that's pretty good. Resting heart rate in the 50s, that's pretty good. So, those are the updates right now. We will continue to just keep an eye on everything. I assume at some point in time we will be throwing it back up into the booth, and we will hear from John and Gary and Happer with any sort of information and intel that they have. But
you were concerned they weren't going to have enough time to eat, so hopefully they're able to use this time.
Dude, you know what? Spot on, Schaefer. They're enjoying some food. Well, they might not be enjoying it, but they're eating right now, and that is nice. That is nice.
Yes, I'm so thrilled.
How about this?
Them.
How about this from Ray? Josh, thank you for working extra long hours for the College World Series. Your hard work is not unnoticed.
Thank you, Josh.
Wow. Mike, thank you for working hard. Josh, you too.
I wouldn't be here if you weren't here.
Well, that's true. I told you again. I said you can go.
No, I understand. I'm not going to leave you behind.
Okay.
Or OJ, for that matter. If I was going to leave one of you, it'd probably be OJ because I think we get to leave before he does.
We do. That's actually true. He has to stay here for a little bit longer after that.
Much more responsible than we are.
Indeed he is. All right, I got some sports stuff for you.
Yeah, let's talk about sports.
This involves your favorite football team. So do you remember last year there was this show called Quarterback?
I do.
And it was all the rage. Did you ever finish that show?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Okay, because I remember there was a part where you were like, I just am not ready to rewatch the end of the season.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch the end of the 22 season, but
Yes.
then we just powered through, and I listened to Kirk talk to his wife in the car on the
way
drive
home.
back,
Yeah,
and then
very
he
sad.
reads the story to his son because, when the football is over, he has to go be Kirk Cousins' dad.
Yeah.
And that life doesn't just end, even though his football season did.
And his career with the Vikings.
Well, that didn't happen until a year later. And unfortunately, that ended well in the midst of what was going to be a career season. And they had gotten to 4-4. And we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Because that's how life works.
So this topic
when
was actually
things are great, like 3 straight walk-offs, you get indefinite rain delays.
Wow. Are we having a Kirk Cousins Achilles tear moment here at the Men's College
Sure
World Series?
feels like it.
This is our version of an Achilles tear. So this whole
painful.
This setup was not just to talk about Kirk Cousins and make you sad. It was actually to ask you if there's any interest that you have in the Netflix documentary series titled Receiver, which will debut on July the 10th and will feature these 5 wideouts and a tight end, actually. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, and your favorite player, Justin Jefferson. Well, I guess I assume he's your favorite player.
He is not my favorite player.
Who is your favorite player?
I mean, it's Harrison Smith.
Oh,
I mean, it's
interesting.
been Harrison Smith for a long time.
Okay.
I tend to end up with like favorite players on defense for the most part.
Interesting.
There was like a brief moment where it could have been Stephon Diggs, but Harrison Smith had still been on that team. Pre him, it was Chad Greenway forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Micah Parsons, but I don't like his podcast. I don't listen to it, but he just has a lot of takes that I just don't agree with ever. Anyway, how you feel about this show? Are you going to watch Receiver?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. I mean, I find my way into watching most of the Netflix sports stuff. Just still kind of working through the second season of Full Swing at this point. I watched all of Quarterbacks.
I've never watched Full Swing.
Yeah, and you
I'm out on
seem like
golf,
you probably wouldn't.
I was going to watch it, and then it
I
came
found
out
it
kinda right
enjoyable
when I was out on golf.
And then it like the whole first season's about the live thing, and then obviously, if you didn't watch it as it aired, then it sort of has no value now because we're just sort of back to where we were.
Yeah.
And nothing's great there. But the Quarterback show, and you watched that, right?
I really liked it.
Yeah, it was great. And what I like about those shows, and it's hard to know what's reality, what's scripted reality, what's added in after the fact, what's being an interview question about a game that took place 4 months prior, and then the sound bite superimposed over the highlights, so it sounds like it's just the perfect quote at the perfect time. I always question that,
but
the authenticity is always sort of a little bit difficult in these scenarios. That being said, it humanizes players in ways that we just don't have access to.
100%.
I mean, we don't get to see what these guys are like on a Tuesday. And so you get to, with quarterbacks, you're able to experience this is what a week is like for Patrick Mahomes. This is what a week is like for Kirk Cousins. This is what a week is like for Marcus Mariota, a guy who's about to lose his job.
Yeah, who then quit his team, and we didn't even really see that on the show.
Yeah, that was very awkward.
He just disappears.
Yeah, that was like Christmas Day. He's like, I'm no longer a Falcon.
Yeah.
And I think he was like in line to potentially start because the other guy was hurt.
He was.
And then he's like, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, correct.
So
I really like that show, and I'm someone who used to be a huge fan of Hard Knocks, really fell away from it over the years. I understand what you're saying about the authenticity and like being able to put a great quote over a great highlight. What I think separated this from Hard Knocks, I mean, first of all, it's about games, right? You have actual games. So, like, I feel like you're starting ahead right there. But given all of the sound on whether it's, like, I thought the Patrick Mahomes injury and him and Andy Reid.
Oh, the on-the-field sound is incredible.
Wild. That and the sound of, like, Kirk Cousins getting hit over and over and over. Like, the noise, and then you see him dealing with the ribs. Like, it's obvious that these guys are going to play stuff up for the cameras at certain points. You're unable to play up for the cameras, though, on the field. And so that is the part where it's like, this is worth the price of admission right
Yeah.
here.
My wife, obviously watching this with me, came away with it disliking Kirk Cousins because she felt like it played up how much he got hit, as if he was in charge of the fact that the offensive line was terrible and he was getting demolished on all of these plays.
What was it? Was it the Washington game?
Yeah,
in
where
particular?
he's just
Oh,
laying
my
there.
gosh.
He's like,
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, so at first, like when I saw the wide receiver one, which is funny because like they're superstars too. I think the quarterback one, just given their spot in the sport and on offense in particular, I'm more interested in. And it's Mahomes.
You saw the literal best quarterback in the league in a
wins the
way that
Super Bowl.
you've never seen him before.
And I thought having Kirk Cousins in there too, it really was this great breakdown of like the best, someone who is around the top 10 somewhere, and then someone who is in the 20s somewhere. And you really did get to see the full gamut. Guy gets benched, quits the team. Guy goes to playoffs, loses in the first round. Guy wins the Super Bowl. This year, I don't remember if they ever announced. I know there were rumors that like Jalen Hurts was going to be one of the quarterbacks, which I think would be pretty
They
interesting.
couldn't get guys to sign on to it.
Because his season, you want to talk about a guy that I would love to know what was going on with him. Remember last year, there were all the rumors about his knee. How injured is he? They never divulged anything. We could tell that he had lost a step. What was going on with him? So I would actually be a huge fan if they announced it that it was him. But maybe they're not doing quarterback and they're doing receiver this year. They did.
I think
Okay.
Peyton Manning basically came out and said that they had quarterbacks lined up, and then their representation talked them out of largely doing it. Because it is it's one of those where if you don't walk away with a Super Bowl, and depending on how it goes, like you could end up looking bad. It could hurt you for endorsements. It could hurt you for future signing. It could also make it seem like you care more about that than you would your own team.
Could the argument be made, though, that no one has seen their reputation go in a positive direction more the last few years for things they didn't really do on the field than Kirk Cousins? Think about Kirk Cousins going into the year after the COVID year.
Point at his 2022 line and be like, he did that on the field.
For sure, but it was that combined with the show.
Yeah.
I feel like a year ago, if you would have talked to a lot of people, they would have had their opinions on Kirk Cousins. I think that people really changed how they viewed him after the documentary.
He became the likable, goofy dad type.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically how many people with the Kirk Cousins Cole Cash joke,
100%,
all of it. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen more of that show, and I think that's why they had to go to the wide receiver route because they just weren't
more
going
willing
to,
to
get
talk.
Yeah. And some of them that had been rumored was like Joe Burrow, who got hurt in training camp.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, who got hurt during the year and didn't have a particularly good year. Geno Smith, who got hurt and didn't have a particularly good year. I mean, it would have been, with the way that quarterbacks played out last year in 2023 in the NFL, I mean, there was a pretty strong chance you could have had all three of your quarterbacks hurt, and then how good the show was.
Fair, yeah. That's a good point.
Just multiple rehab episodes.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very good content.
So
we want to see the games.
Yeah, it'll be. And then they've already filmed this with the receivers, right? Now it's just being...
Yes, it's coming out in July.
Air, yeah. So basically they pivoted. They went from trying to do the quarterback thing to doing the receiver thing.
So real quick, before we go to break, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. So you have...
two guys that played in the Super Bowl, one guy that played in an NFC championship game, Justin Jefferson, who missed like 9 games
missed some
last
time,
year.
and Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, who was in a rough situation with the Raiders.
Wasn't there some reporting on like maybe a potential trade with him? Was that during the season last year?
Yeah, there was talk of it.
Okay, so like that will be, I guess, something interesting. Yeah, and like you said, two Super Bowl guys on the same team.
Deebo got knocked out for a portion of the year.
Deebo got knocked out. Plus, like the way he plays football,
Right.
I think is like so physical. And so
I would imagine we're going to get a ton of, man, George Kittle's kind of different, isn't he? Like he's sort of the most unique personality, perhaps. Nah, I don't know. Justin Jefferson's kind of odd. I don't know. There's a lot that could come out of this.
my take on Kittle is always he looks like he smells.
Big scent show for you today.
Well, it's the summer, man.
What do you think George Kittle smells like? Now you got to explain that.
Just stink. You know, you ever get in
Just smells like a locker room.
You ever get in someone's car and it's like, oh, you don't shower very often. That's just that smell. He works out a lot, Schaefer. Just sweat.
I wonder if people think of that about my car because the golf shoes do not help the smell when they're in the back.
Are they just chilling in your car at all times?
Not at all times, but sometimes if they get left in there like overnight, it can just like wreck the entire smell.
Definitely, yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'll come
if,
smell your car tonight if you'd like.
You
When
should.
we
Let
leave
people
here
know.
at 10 p.m.
Make a video of that.
That's some good content. By the way, speaking of leaving here at 10 p.m., a couple of tweets before we go to break. Steve writes, looking at the radar, I've got a feeling that your final segment tonight is going to be what's for breakfast. Maybe we could discuss our Father's Day breakfast plans. And Dave Fight, friend of the show, keep filibustering. The storm just passed through East Lincoln. You're going to be a while. There's a lot of sad faces around us right now as I read some of these comments. Folks, we're feeling the same way you are. That's why we're talking about Netflix television series. When we return, we'll break down 3 Body Problem.
Never seen it.
All right, there's the breakdown. I enjoyed it. I'd give it a recommend.
Okay.
All right. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, Josh Shotson hanging out with you. It is starting to get to that point where I'm getting hungry for dinner. So maybe hit up Chris Prudon.
Yeah, Chris, where are you at?
Hey, Chris, this guy looks
There's
like
not
he's
a
hungry.
game going on, so what are you doing in the stadium, Chris?
Yeah, we're all hungry. All right, more to come as we await the start timer, really any announcement for A&M in Florida. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat facing our nation. A dose small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil is potentially lethal. The Drug Enforcement Administration is working hard to remove this threat from our streets. Join the fight and make a difference. To learn more about a career with DEA, visit DEA.gov/careers. People with different skills but the same mindset to keep drugs out of our communities. Visit them in person at Baseball Village during the College Baseball Championship.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
In the heart of the country is a children's hospital at the forefront of pediatric innovation, where teddy bears and coloring books meet leading-edge treatment and technology, where warm smiles and a human touch go hand in hand with tools like remote patient monitoring and robotic-assisted surgery, and where a committed team of healthcare providers believes innovation is best used to deliver better care for kids. Children's Nebraska. Believe in better.
Success in today's electrical market requires your company to be able to adjust to an ever-changing field. A partnership with IBEW Local 22 gives you that flexibility with access to journeymen, apprentices, proven training programs, marketing assistance, entry into markets not available before, ability to expand and contract with changing market conditions, and a benefits package for you and your employees. Contact Bob at IBEW Local 22 for additional details at 402-980-7596.
Why wait for your perfect landscape when Patera can get it booked now and installed in plenty of time to enjoy this summer? Gorgeous, healthy trees and bushes, a colorful garden with a water feature, a berm, a beautiful new patio. Whatever you're imagining for curb appeal or more privacy, Patera can book your project now so you can enjoy your perfect landscape and cookouts this summer. Patera, Omaha's best. PateraLandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are promises to honor, work that needs to be done, friendships to enjoy, and people that count on each other. These are the things that tie our communities together. They always have, and they always will. Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Aaron texts into the show. He says correct on, and he calls him Kirkers, Kirk Cousins. Correct on Kirkers. I quit the show so I could still hate him.
Interesting. What about now that he's in Atlanta?
Yeah, he probably doesn't have any
hate transfer.
Probably doesn't have any opinions on him anymore now.
They're going to be a very trendy, didn't make the playoffs to make the playoffs pick. All the weapons, new coach, Kirk Cousins at the helm instead of Desmond Ridder.
The NFC South.
Yep.
People forget they're in the NFC South.
He's immediately the best quarterback in the division.
How about this? You remember Dave Tepper?
I do. I know Dave Tepper.
Former boss. Sends us a text listening to you and Schaefer. Phil, tell Prudon to get back to work. Great CWS to you all. Thank you, Dave.
We agree, Dave.
Good to hear. Yes, on all accounts, Dave. Yes, it is a rain delay. If you are in the car, look, if you are still in your car driving down here, you were going to be really late for the game because it was
you missed it.
It was supposed to start. It's actually going on right now. Schaefer and I are the new play-by-play voices for Westwood One Sports. Very, very cool. But if you missed it, Texas A&M in Florida is currently in a weather delay. That's what we know. What we don't know is essentially everything else. It looks like the raindrops have just started falling, but the bad stuff isn't supposed to arrive until sometime next hour, right, Shape? Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, it keeps moving up. It seems like there could be some weather coming in around 6:45, and then things could start from there. Also looks like it's extended well into the 9 o'clock hour with a brief break and then a second cell following behind.
Yeah, and so all that we can do, and thankfully we are not on the official Westwood One broadcast, so it's like we can't get in trouble.
Nor are we the official weather people.
No, so we're just theorizing. This is just a couple of bros theorizing about the weather, which is what we often do. There is a point in all of this where you do kind of have to decide, like, is there ever a window for tonight's baseball game, or do you have to push it back to tomorrow? And I don't know when they have to decide that by. Like, they would obviously much rather wait a little bit longer. They don't want to, like, make an announcement now. And then what if then the rest of the night was perfect? They would feel horrible, and everyone would be really mad.
Yes, they'd rather have stolen the first few hours of the perfect night.
Correct. They would
and
rather steal your time
yes.
than steal the rest of the night's time. So that's why we're in this holding pattern. That said, again, it is supposed to get a whole lot worse a little bit later, and there will become a certain point where they will ask themselves, like, do we want to play this tonight? Do we want to? They don't want to start.
Realistically, when do we start the game? When would it end?
When do
the
they
game
start?
takes 3.5 hours. You can't start it till 10.
And as you keep pointing out, like, there is still other stuff that is supposed to arrive later on as well. And so that's the rub of it all. And so don't really know a whole lot after that. We will see if we'll be sending it back up into the booth. But really, I'm just not seeing anything on Twitter. I haven't heard anything officially. So the holding pattern is where we still will remain.
Yep.
Not great, which is why we started talking about a Netflix wide receiver show. Sky wanted to know, will this end up on the radio replay? He was very excited for the David Fincher 3-man Zodiac play, resting heart rate pod. That segment that we did a little bit earlier. That was some really good stuff. Yeah, we'll get that on the Unsportsmanlike Conduct feed as we roll on. Seth asks, predict the television networks for Nebraska's football schedule. That is my kind of sickos content.
All right,
there.
let's do it.
No, we don't have to.
No.
Do you have takes?
I mean, I have time.
You know what? That might be the best thing I've ever heard. All right, we know UTEP's on Fox. We know Colorado's on NBC. We know Northern Iowa's on BTN. We know Illinois is on Fox. Purdue, 11 a.m. game on Saturday, September 28th. Where's that game going to be, Mike Schaefer?
I'm trying to even think of who would have the access to. So walk me through, because that isn't a game that would appear on any of the ESPN affiliates anymore. So I can't even be like ESPN Business.
Correct. So the networks that now have the Big Ten, Fox, thus Fox Sports 1.
Yep.
BTN.
Yep.
CBS, NBC.
All right. This feels like a BTN game.
I would agree with you there. All right. So we are in agreement. The Rutgers game the following week will be at 11, 2:30, or 3 o'clock.
Feels like a 2:30 kick because that is the exact time I don't want it to be.
Ooh.
And also, this isn't FS1. This is a 2:30 FS1.
Okay.
Rutgers.
I was going to say 2:30 CBS. Sneaky Rutgers.
Oh,
good Nebraska.
CBS.
4-0, 5-0 Huskers bringing Rutgers into town. Ba, 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 ba,
We sure it can't be big noon?
It could be big noon.
That 11 a.m. start?
I don't want big noon. I know you do. Yeah, see, thumbs down. I don't want Gus.
11 a.m. best kickoff time.
I mean, yeah, for writers such as yourself.
7 p.m. second best kickoff time.
Isn't that interesting that all the scribes agree with that, even though that pushes back their writing?
Yeah, because nobody wants the 2:30 middle of the day where you
because it
lose
ruins
both
your
ends
whole
of it.
day.
Yeah,
it ruins.
I don't want that.
Ruins your entire day.
That'd be like starting a weather delay before the weather came in.
Well, and that's what we did. By the way, David texts in, I missed Zodiac talk, ? You did. We even theorized on
a lot more than we thought we would get to.
Well, again, we're in a rain delay. All right, we roll on. Indiana, it could be 11, it could be 2:30, it could be 3, or it could be 6:30. It could be all of the times. Shape, that game could be literally the entire day.
That's going to be a night game in Bloomington at 6:30 BTN.
6:30 BTN. I like that pick, actually. That's a solid pick.
Thank you.
Ohio State will be at 11, 2:30, or 3.
That'll be an 11. Nebraska will be undefeated.
Oh, 7-0.
I got to be careful. People are going to be holding me to this.
They will hold you to it. That said, I already tweeted it out.
No, you did not. I saw your fingers did not move there. No, if Nebraska is like 11-0 or 6-1 going into that,
dude,
that could be a big noon.
Big noon. My pick is big noon.
Yeah.
UCLA is TBA to be announced. Kind of like the game time for this game. TBA, TBD.
Will this game start before Nebraska plays UCLA on November 2nd?
I hope so, because I'm not dressed well enough to keep doing the show here in these conditions.
Well, at some point they got to give you a long enough break to sleep.
You think Mark will allow me to go home?
I don't know. He's a taskmaster.
Yeah. All right. So what network?
Okay. So this one we're gonna go FS1.
I agree with that. I was gonna say BTN. BTN or FS1 sounds about right. At USC. The famed USC game, which could be 2:30, 3 o'clock, 6:30, or 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Oh, no. On Fox? After the World Series?
On Fox.
God.
I wanted to say NBC, but I don't think that makes sense.
NBC, they could do it at 6:30, and that's my pick. I'm going to say it's a 6:30
It does
NBC
feel like
game.
it would be the NBC game.
Yeah? That'd be fun.
I selfishly would like 10 o'clock start for that.
Why?
I would have plans that evening or I would like it to start earlier in the day.
You have plans already?
Yeah, there's a comedian in town that I would like to go to.
A comedian? Who?
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, okay. I like Patton Oswalt.
Oh, wow. You were so ready to dump all over that.
I was.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I forget that you have a good sense of humor.
Sometimes.
Wisconsin. TBA.
I think Wisconsin could stink.
Yeah, I don't know if I've picked enough games for BTN yet, so give me BTN for Wisconsin.
That's sort of where I was at with that one, too.
And we know the Iowa game on NBC. Wow, look at us. We just predicted all of the games. Go us.
And we had two differentiations on that one.
Yeah, indeed we
I
did.
think I had one FS1 game that you went with. I don't know what you went with.
We agree. We disagreed on USC. I said NBC.
You said CBS
Fox.
for Rutgers.
I said CBS. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
And then I went Fox 10 o'clock start for USC.
Nobody had a Peacock game.
Oh, crap. Josh, you're right.
Do they have to do a Peacock game?
Have to know. Will they? Probs.
Okay.
But a good point, Josh. And that's where those weird 3 o'clock kickoff times
Yeah, that
come
feels
in.
like that could be the UCLA
Maybe
game.
the Indiana
That's what I was
game.
thinking.
All right. You say that. I'll say Indiana.
All right.
All right. There we go. And that's the segment where we predict television networks for Nebraska's upcoming football season. It's funny. We have been doing shows for 9 hours now? We have not talked at all about Husker football. You were at Friday Night Lights. We haven't talked at all about Husker football at Friday Night Lights. We could do some of that as we move on into the 7 o'clock hour of the show. Words I did not expect to say earlier today.
Really?
The 7 o'clock hour. No, at 7 o'clock I expected to say, hey, Banks, do you want to go outside?
And now he's just sitting there.
Dude, my friend is going over to let him out and feed him.
I was going to say, do you have a contingency
for
plan?
the second time today? Shout out to David. David's going over and helping out with banks.
Thanks for being a good friend, David.
David, you're a great friend. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Shout out to David. All right, we'll come back. We will finish up. I don't know what hour this is. Hour number something. You got here at 9. I got here at 9:30. Schaefer got here not long after that.
9:50.
9:50. All right, we will come back. Talk a little Husker football in the 7 o'clock hour. Hopefully have an update. Probably won't have an update. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, Josh Hodson with you here on 1620 The Zone.
It's time to make a game plan for game day parking. During big events, curbside parking in Omaha has a higher event rate. So save money for peanuts and Cracker Jack by parking in a garage or surface lot. You can even reserve an off-street parking space days, hours, or minutes in advance with the Park mobile app. Learn more about where to park and how to pay at parkomaha.com.
The time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 deadliest days. Students are off for the summer, people are taking vacations, and the days are longer. It's a recipe for good times and long-lasting memories. Sadly, it accounts for 37% of Nebraska's traffic fatalities. Someone's waiting for you at a ball game, a party, or a wedding. Don't let a crash keep you away. Focus on driving. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of products and pricing online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch everything before you buy and choose local pickup so it's ready to go for you at the tent. Go to twistedthunder.com to check out all of our locations in Nebraska as well as our location in Council Bluffs. That's twistedthunder.com.
To be a part of Nebraska Medicine,
hi, welcome,
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine, together extraordinary.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're excited to announce the grand opening of Saul's Jewelry and Loan's new downtown location. It's a Saul shopping experience like you've never seen in this beautiful, historic location. And of course, we brought in tons of new inventory, amazing jewelry finds at our famous best in town prices, motorcycles, tools, bikes, guitars. And as always, get a cash on the spot loan from $10,000 to $50,000. Everything you've come to expect from Saul's in our new location. 22nd and Harney, downtown Omaha, Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, and Josh Johnson from the Omaha Baseball Village. As we wind down the first bonus hour of our show, some sources that we are hearing from have told us that the umpires have gone to their hotel, which, I don't know. I asked you the question, Shafe. What do you think that means? Trying to basically find out, is there another answer other than the obvious answer? If the umps have gone to their hotel, what would that make you think is going on tonight?
It would make me think there will not be a baseball game played this evening because you would not leave and then come back with the hopes of starting it within, say, 90 minutes or whatever it would be.
Correct.
And it would be very tough to even start that game in 90 minutes because the weather will be probably at its apex at that time.
Correct. So that is what we have heard.
So maybe they're just going to go get a 3-hour nap while we all sit here and don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. By the way,
robot umps would never do that.
They would not one single time, because they would just power down. Wally, that's what they would do. Remember Wally?
I do remember Wally.
As we try to put a bow on this conversation as well, Mitch Sherman, who we had on about 9 hours ago, he tweets out, storms producing tornado warnings are at least 60 miles to the northwest of downtown Omaha, moving away from us to the northeast here at the College World Series. The rain and thunder that was over Lincoln in the past 30 minutes is now in West Omaha and moving in our direction, so the tarp is not coming off anytime soon. I definitely I'm hoping that we have gotten to the point where some sort of an announcement is going
resolution
to be made.
has come together here.
I can definitely say this. We're not going to go back up to the booth yet. Like, I didn't know if we were going to do that at the 7 o'clock hour, so we're not going to do that. But I'm hoping that because it will be 7 o'clock, since it will be we are now past an hour since they made the announcement. They made the announcement right before John, Gary, and Happer went on the air at 5:40. So we're past an hour since then. I'm hoping, once you get to that 7 o'clock, 7:30, whatever it is, like, I feel like the announcements, you got to start. And whether it's we still don't know anything or we're still monitoring, but I'm hopeful that we're going to learn something over the course of the next 15 minutes.
You also have a lot of people hanging out down here waiting for an event and severe weather impending.
Yes.
So if you're going to make a decision that affects those people,
Correct, yeah.
You would think that would be forthcoming.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about during our commercial break is, so you obviously had the traffic from the previous game, and a lot of people, I assume, were just going to mill around, go grab some dinner, grab a couple of beers or whatever it is, and then they were going to head home. Then you have everyone else who is coming down here, 25,000 seat stadium, many thousands more outside. When that announcement is made, it's going to be full of a lot of traffic as people try to get home.
Congestion.
You throw in the weather then too, getting serious, and it's like it's going to be a lot. So, yeah, that's what we know right now. If I were to make a prediction. Yeah, people don't like my predictions, so I don't know if I should make one.
Usually aren't very good.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be baseball played tonight. That'd be my guess. But I don't know anything other than the umpires are at their hotel, which is kind of telling me something.
Instead of their posh umpire room,
they have AC.
Maybe
do they not?
Maybe they don't get HBO in their umpire room.
Hey, maybe they want to go home and watch Three Body Problem on Netflix.
Why? This is your very.
I don't know. It's the first Netflix show that came to my brain.
Are they one of the sponsors of today's Rain Delay Radio?
Yeah, do we have that in the book over there? Okay. Well, I recommend it. It's a fun show. You can turn off your brain for an hour. It's a fun show.
I thought you were going to House of Dragons. Maybe they're going to go watch that.
That's tomorrow. Wow, it's Sunday.
They could get caught up.
They could. Hey, yeah, if you got to get caught up with House of the Dragon before season 2 tomorrow, you got some time.
I've got work to do.
You do have work to do. Why do you have work to do, Mike Schaefer? Because Friday Night Lights was in town yesterday. Did you learn anything?
Nebraska did make one offer. Jace Reynolds, a 2026 Elkhorn North. We would call it defensive athlete. He kind of falls in that mold where he could end up as a linebacker. It could be a safety. He did pick up an offer from yesterday's camp. That's the only offer that has come out thus far. I did get to see Dayton Rayola, the younger brother of Dylan Rayola, throw yesterday as well at that camp. It was kind of a mixed bag. Wasn't a outstanding performance, but it's also hard in those settings. You don't always know who you're throwing to or where you're trying to put it. And so It was interesting to at least put eyes on him as the first time I've watched him throw at one of those. I've seen his brother several times in the same event. And that was pretty much the extent of it. Brunts was in with the offensive line. There seemed to be a lot more offensive line, defensive line type prospects that could walk away with offers later on from that camp, but wasn't as much in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah. I have a question for you that I want to attack next hour. We'll, again, reset what we know about the weather.
We've got time.
But it's about what this program could become as it pertains to recruiting. If things do get going like you guaranteed last segment, 7-0 Nebraska, if that were to happen. But in all seriousness, if they were to start getting good, what could that mean for them at events like this? What could that mean for them? So we will continue to talk about that. By the way, a couple other things real quick. The NCAA baseball Twitter account has tweeted out they are still in a weather delay. Please seek shelter. The Omaha Police Department just put out a similar thing. Basically, find shelter. The impending storm will be here very, very shortly. The wind has picked up just a little bit over the course of the last couple of minutes. So we'll have a bit more when we return, including a tweet from Colin Wilson, who is a sports writer with the Action Sports Network. He had a chance to speak with an official inside of the ballpark about the potential of this game and perhaps tomorrow. So we will talk about that and that Husker football question for you when we return. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer. Also, we're going to make fun of the Brits.
Oh.
We're going to make fun of the Brits. All that and more when we return
easy
on 1620 The Zone.
Our car radio is like a rookie pitcher quitting in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and now it's the bottom of the 9th. The AC's out and the transmission's throwing wild pitches.
So I was checking out car loans from Liberty First Credit Union. Applying looks like a home run with rates as low as 4.99% APR.
It's game time.
Step up to the plate with a Liberty First Credit Union auto loan. Equal opportunity lender. 48-month term for 2022 and newer models. Credit factors apply. Rates, terms, and conditions subject to change.
Upgrade your hydration this summer with Zen Water. Ultra pure, refreshing alkaline water. Zen Water transforms you with every quenching sip. Vapor distilled for ultra purity with the perfect blend of electrolytes added for taste. Zen Water is pure, elevated water. To learn more, visit zenwater.com. ZENWTR.com. And stop by your local retailer to find your Zen today.
Fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat facing our nation. A dose small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil is potentially lethal. The Drug Enforcement Administration is working hard to remove this threat from our streets. Join the fight and make a difference. To learn more about a career with DEA, visit dea.gov/careers. People with different skills but the same mindset to keep drugs out of our communities. Visit them in person at Baseball Village during the College Baseball Championship.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. Water, wind, and hail can wreak havoc on the exterior of your home. If your home is damaged, let Jay Stennett Contracting come out for a no-obligation inspection. If repairs are needed, they will help you through every step of the process. When you need an honest assessment, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
And we're back live, and what a beautiful day here at the park. Just listen to that crowd. Excitement's in the air. They've come to see the best of the best from all over the globe in what's been a fan favorite for nearly 130 years. That's right, it's all at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, the #1 zoo in the nation. Be sure to swing by between games and check out our newly reimagined Hubbard Orangutan Forest. Plan your visit at omahazoo.com.
In the heart of the country is a children's hospital at the forefront of pediatric innovation, where teddy bears and coloring books meet leading-edge treatment and technology, where warm smiles and a human touch go hand in hand with tools like remote patient monitoring and robotic-assisted surgery, and where a committed team of healthcare providers believes innovation is best used to deliver better care for kids. Children's Nebraska. Believe in better.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Your home for the Men's College World Series is 1620 The Zone. KOC and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Sponsored by Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center. This hour of the Men's College World Series special on 1620 The Zone is presented by Nebraska Medicine. Nebraska Medicine, together extraordinary. 1620 The Zone is live at the Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Access Bank. Here for a reason, yours and Children's Nebraska. Here are your hosts for today's broadcast, Josh Peterson and Mike Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Peterson, Mike Schaefer with you at the Omaha Baseball Village. Many people have questions. Sadly, we don't have a whole lot of answers, but we will do our best to give you what we do have as we are still in a weather delay ahead of Game 4 of the Men's College World Series between Texas A&M and Florida. Earlier today, Kentucky had a 10th inning walk-off home run to move on to the winner's bracket. They will await the winner of this game between Texas A&M and Florida. Will the game get played tonight, or will this game get played tomorrow? Or will this game start tonight and then finish tomorrow?
That seems like the dumbest of the scenarios.
It does, and yet I would say, like, it seems like a very likely thing of happening at this point in time, which is absolutely wild to me. The storm is headed right towards us.
Yeah, the important thing is people need to seek shelter within the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, we will be closing.
Do not want to be outside.
We will be closing our doors here very, very soon as the storm arrives. Colin Wilson, I mentioned this as we went to break last hour. He is of the Action Network. Tweeted out potential 3+ hour delay at the College World Series. Officials I spoke with want to get this game in. If it goes 10 a.m. tomorrow, the loser of Texas A&M Florida would potentially play 5 straight days. And so that is a huge reason that they do not want to delay this, because it puts the loser at a disadvantage. Not to say that, like, playing a 10 p.m. baseball game is like that much better. But that's why we're in this holding pattern right now. It's interesting though, Schaefer.
If they want to play, they could have gotten a portion of the game in early, gotten another portion in later.
Has any lightning strikes happened yet within this area? So in theory, they would have been an hour in. Now, that could have been 2 really slow innings. It could have been 4 really fast innings. Obviously, we don't know. They could have started the game. If starting the game was of paramount importance, they could have done it. The part about what's next and the delay, like, obviously that would have changed some things. To me, then, that sounds, it's not just that they want to start it, they want to finish it. And they want to finish it whether it's Saturday night or Sunday morning. And by Sunday morning, I mean 12:48 a.m.
Do you know what that means for us?
I don't. Actually, it's a great question, and I am inquiring about it because are we on until 10 p.m.? That is a question that I would certainly have.
I'm here. I'm rolling.
Yeah, we are indeed here, and we are indeed rolling. If you missed any of our last hour, wow, you missed some of the best radio I think I've ever done in my entire life. Resting heart rate.
Rain delay radio is incredible stuff, folks.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to get mad at me for giving you bonus free content by talking about my resting heart rate?
Or your thoughts on Aliens 3?
Or my thoughts on Aliens 3, or us doing a 3-man Zodiac play.
Which I think had the most helium out of all of those ideas. Nice. It rose to the top.
Balloons.
People really were interested.
People were reaching out to us saying, wait, can you tell me more?
They want it on the radio replay.
Mm-hmm. They do indeed. They can come get rain hats. You can come. So we have these clear bags, but as Chris has described them, we have rain hats if you would like to stop by. Also, we do, while the bays are open, stop by, notice OJ over here, other Josh, and ask him about this Zen Water Titleist golf bag with Max Homa's name on it. Now, if the winner of this is also named Max Homa, shout out to that Max. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. But you can get registered. We were pouring some or drinking some Zen water. I have my cup to keep this stuff a little chillier for longer. You're just pulling it straight from the can.
Yeah. All natural.
We are enjoying the Zen water. You could enjoy the Zen water.
Staying hydrated.
Which is important always. But you could enjoy the Zen water with this golf bag as well. So stop by, register to win that, and say hello to us. I mentioned as we went to break, Mike Schaefer, that I had a question for you about Nebraska football. So in your entire time covering the program in a professional capacity, which goes back to 2011 or 12?
In a professional capacity, the first year would have been 2011. 2010, actually.
2010.
It was a newspaperman.
That's right. You wrote that awesome column after the Texas loss. Great column. Excellent work. I should retweet. I should find it and send it out to the masses. Hey, do you remember the Red Out Around the World loss, everybody? But no, in all seriousness, so the reason I asked you was this. You've never really gotten to cover the program with awesome on-field momentum. There's always been a caveat. There's always been a but. There's always been a 4-loss season. You've never covered them in a professional capacity where they have lost fewer than 4 games. No one has watched.
I've never covered them in any capacity where they've lost fewer than 4 games.
That's true, because they have not lost fewer than 4 games since 2003.
Yeah.
21 years ago. And I know that I have thought plenty, given that I have been on the air since 2014. I've been at the station since 2012. What would it be like here at the job if they got good? I think we all probably think about that in our own capacities. Fans will just dream of them being good for the sake of being happy for themselves. What would that mean for recruiting, given that this has long been a top 25 recruiter? This has sometimes been a top 20, top 15 recruiter, and the results on the field have never shown for that. What would it mean if they actually were good on the field, given this staff and their proclivity for finding talent and putting in the hard work?
Yeah, I think what it would be fascinating to see is, would they change their identity as to what they're doing recruiting wise? They obviously want to be a developmental program, and what that means is they have certain benchmarks they want guys to be at as they bring them in, and they want to build them and get them to a certain spot with the idea of building guys for the opportunity to play in the NFL and to maximize their traits and their abilities. You can do that, and you can also do that and recruit at a really high level. And I think they want to see a jump, and they don't want to just be a top 25 recruiting team. I don't even think they want to be just like a top 20 or top 15. I think the ultimate end game, if Nebraska was good, is I think they would have the ability with their resources, with the environment that's available here, with Matt Rule potentially being a name that players want to play for. I think they could be a top 10 recruiting operation. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility, but it takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
And how they would get there would be years of consistent winning. And it wouldn't just be like, oh, the TCU 1 year, everything went great. It would have to be a sustained level of success. And that would, theoretically could start with Dylan Raiola at the helm right now. And you see where that goes, going forward. But I think if you have 2-3 years in a row where they're ripping off 9, 10, heaven forbid you allow your brain to wander, 11 wins in 1 year.
This year.
Which means you're playing in the college football
7-0.
playoff. If they are on the fringe of the college football playoff conversation year in and year out, they are going to recruit at a really, really high level.
Yeah.
Because the NIL will jump off, and we already know that this is a place where success can beget more success.
And do you think that Matt Rule, this might be a stupid question, does he want to play in those waters, like consistently recruiting at that high of a level, given that he also loves the nitty-gritty, getting his fingers dirty, right?
You're asking the question in a different way. If Nebraska starts having success, don't you think the people who cover recruiting and the people who do the recruiting rankings
have to
start
change?
to take a look at what is happening and the type
Excellent
of
point.
players that they are recruiting?
That's the better question.
We saw that shift happen 10 years ago when it became, oh, what is Wisconsin doing that's working for them? How are they getting these types of players? And you would see, and it wasn't like they vaulted into the top 25 or top 20, but you would see a bump, or you would see, the type of talent that they were looking for was suddenly more highly rated in the
because they're so highly respected, right?
And Matt Rule's already incredibly highly respected from the recruiting industry as a whole. When Nebraska takes a player that no one has heard of, and I send the text to our evaluation
automatic 3-star at the very least.
Well, there's that, but it's more so like, oh, I want to take a look at this guy. I want to get under the hood.
What did I miss?
Because the football people are super dorks, And they know that Matt Rule is a super dork, and they want to see what it is that has him intrigued by this player that they had not heard of.
Let me ask this question then in a different way. What are we missing, or what are the evaluators missing that he is not? What is he seeing?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to ask it that way because they have to have success first, right? Like, here's the thing about these early recruiting classes. We aren't going to know whether they're good or bad for several years still. There's players that they have taken that we will never get information on to know whether they're success or not because they will probably be out of the program. But there are guys that you can already say early on, Jalen Lloyd, his very first offer upon arriving at Nebraska, is a guy that I think is going to leave as an NFL player, as a wide receiver at Nebraska, that was not going to have that opportunity until mid-November of 2022 when Matt Rule got hired. Like, that's someone that I think exists in this prism where what is he seeing there? He's seeing an elite track athlete. And then how do you take that and make that an elite football player? And that is what they're trying to do. And they want to do that where they have one Jalen Lloyd ready to go and two guys behind him that when he leaves the program, there's no drop-off. That you're passing the baton to the guy behind you and the program doesn't suffer, but maybe it even elevates.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because we all have access to like 40 times, right? Like you can see a guy's height and weight, and you can all do your own.
I don't think they care about 40 times at all.
No, and I was just using that as the broad like.
Well, and I'm just saying, like, if Nebraska is successful, more and more of the evaluations will become, well, what does his 100-meter dash look like? What is his? Okay, so this guy's he's an offensive lineman, but what is he doing when he's out there as a weight man in track? Like, what does his shot put look like? What does the explosion scale show us off of his body mass, plus what he's doing throwing a discus? I mean, that becomes the conversation because that is how they're evaluated.
We're going to take a break. A couple things just coming in. Severe thunderstorm warning just to the south of us has been issued. So that is something to keep an eye on. Again, if you're in your car, I guess, just be safe, go home. Or go park somewhere. If you're listening to us in this building, just be ready because it's about to hit us. Negative split swimming just tweeted a photo, storm coming on 72nd and L, and sure enough, those clouds look oh so dark. Yo-Yo Goofball tweets in, OMFG Husker recruiting talk. Can you please get back to songs about gorillas and sip? Shape, you got any gorilla songs?
I don't have any gorilla songs ready to go.
Okay.
That is not my area of expertise.
It is not mine either. When we return, we're going to make fun of the British. Also, Bill Belichick. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Josh Hodgson tried to tell us about this.
All right, well.
Is it about his girlfriend?
Yeah, there's a little bit more that we could get into.
Well, all we learned was that he's 74 and she's 24, right?
Got some funny stuff. I got some quotes for you.
All right.
We'll do that when we return here on 1620 The Zone.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of products and pricing online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch everything before you buy and choose local pickup so it's ready to go for you at the tent. Go to twistedthunder.com to check out all of our locations in Nebraska as well as our location in Council Bluffs. That's twistedthunder.com.
Experience the difference and save more when you shop at one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations. And right now, it's more affordable than ever to get behind the wheel of a new vehicle when you visit a Woodhouse Ford dealership. Going on now, save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT with approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/08/2024. See dealer for details.
Curveballs belong in baseball, not your bank. When you choose Access Bank for your personal or commercial banking needs, you'll know what to expect every time. Personalized, all-in-one service from experts who know banking and the Omaha Metro. Access Bank has convenient branch locations and easy online solutions. Because we're here for a reason, to make your experience a home run. Learn more at accessbank.com. Member FDIC.
You don't have to wait for your perfect landscape. Patera Landscaping can book your project now and have it beautifully installed in time to enjoy this July and August for cookouts and get-togethers. Trees, bushes, colorful gardens, water features, patios, outdoor kitchens. Patera Landscaping can do it all. Call today and have your perfect landscape this summer. Patera voted Omaha's best. PateraLandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Velocity is currently seeking participants to wear a Fitbit watch for 31 days with compensation of up to $200. Some other current studies include low T, COPD, flu, pediatric, infant, and RSV. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages. See current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com, compensation for study-related time and travel, and find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer here at the Omaha Baseball Village as the storm now has started rolling in to downtown Omaha, just south of us. You can see the dark clouds starting to arrive, raindrops starting to fall, and it's time. As you said, you just tweeted out a photo. It's time to batten down the hatches.
Hatches have been battened.
We've closed the door.
I didn't know if that's how you could phrase it, but
in the words of a character on Game of Thrones, hold the door, but close the door. Close the door. That's what Mike Schaefer just did. So we are hanging out, waiting for any word. Still don't really know a whole lot of information outside of the tweet that we read from Colin Wilson a little bit earlier, and that is they are going to try to play this baseball game. So the curfew for that is 11 p.m. 11 p.m. is the
we're
latest.
Discussing when the earliest they could actually start an inning. Or not an inning, start the game.
Start the game, yeah. So the latest that they can start a game is 11 p.m. The earliest, I have no idea. I have been involved, if I can remember right, going back to the first time I produced the College World Series, which was in 2012. We did a triple header day, kind of like this, where there was weather, they delayed it, and eventually they called it. It took them like 2 hours to call it, but they eventually called it. We all walked outside in the rain and thunderstorms, and then we went home. I believe that we were back the next day at about for a 9 or a 10 a.m. game.
Oh, look at the dark.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's arriving.
It's rolling in.
Yeah, and we all forgot our rain jackets except for Josh. Shout out to Josh.
I even managed to bring one this morning. I'm leaving Lincoln, and I'm like, I got to grab something for this.
Yeah.
And then I leave it in the car 15 minutes away.
Not great. Mine's at home.
And I even realized I could have grabbed it between.
Yeah, I could have turned around and gone back to my apartment to get it. I wasn't very far away. Yeah, it's hanging on a hook. I wore it this morning.
One person who made it all the way here with it. One who got it to his vehicle, which helps no one.
I have a janky umbrella. I can use my
And then
janky umbrella.
Chris gave away all the rain hats.
Oh, yeah. Can I put the helmet on?
I mean,
Can you fit your head in there?
Would that protect you from a lightning strike?
No, but it protects my head from the rain.
There.
Yeah. So that's what we know right now. But again, earliest, my guess is if it was doing something tomorrow, we'd probably be going at 9 or 10. Latest, though, they could still play this game in 3 hours and 40 minutes. And I believe by that point in time, Shape, the storm is supposed to be gone. So
yeah, there's another cell, but it's not as heavy.
That would be the sparsest attended College World Series game in
it remains
decades.
Somewhat baffling they didn't. If you intend to play tonight, no matter what, why you would not have started earlier?
Yeah,
unless you're just like, yeah, we're gonna roll this thing until 1:30 in the morning.
At like now, they would have had to call it. Like this would have been the moment that they would have called it, because I assume that there's been lightning in there, and once it's within 8 miles or whatever, 9 miles, then you have to pause the game. So I'm guessing that by this point in time, it would have been called. We're an hour 15, hour 20 in to what would have been the start of the game. Now, this is where the head coaches will say, whoa, guys, that is nowhere near enough time for our pitchers to play and have it be worth it to delay a game however many hours. And yet I would say, yeah, but didn't a guy pitch only 8 pitches last night and then they pulled him? You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. But you're right. It's baffling that, like, this is okay, doing an 11 o'clock potential. Obviously, we're just theorizing right now. But a start time that late is something they would rather have than at least getting a few innings under your belt.
If you get what is expected to roll through, the earliest that you're possibly starting is 10.
Yeah.
So that seems like it's the best that you could do.
Well, and on the other part of it, too, as we think about tomorrow, it's better, in my opinion, if you have a doubleheader scheduled to have a few innings, again, under your belt, because then tomorrow you only have to play 6 innings.
Sure.
Instead of, they're going to have to play, right now it's 18 innings for sure that they're going to have to play tomorrow. Is it climbing above 20, though, because of this? Is it going to be 27 innings at least? That's not to mention an extra innings game. And so, like, I'm with you. I'm very surprised that they didn't start it out, especially given that the storm is still, it took an hour plus. And by the way, it has moved in fast now. These clouds are humming right along. So, that's.
If you are outside, you should get inside now.
Yeah, indeed. And the rain has started arriving. So we will continue to update you with what we know. And sadly, what we know right now is not a whole lot, just speculating. One thing that we were told within the last half hour or so is that the umpires have made their way back to the hotel. So that is something that we will continue to keep an eye on. I said that we're going to make fun of the Brits because I want to cheer myself up. I want to cheer you up. It's fun making fun of England. So a story came out from the Daily Mirror a couple days ago. UK to be blasted by 48-hour, 26 degrees Celsius heat wave, with 5 cities in England the hottest. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not very good at the old conversion. I got to go to Google. 26 Celsius in Fahrenheit is 78.8 degrees. Have you ever, Mike Schaefer, felt that a 79-degree day was getting blasted with heat? Have you ever felt that way about 78 degrees?
I mean, I suppose if you were coming off of like a series of 12-degree days.
That's a good point. You would be like, ooh, this is a little toasty. I feel blasted right now.
Hard to say in the normal run of things that 78 degrees would amount to much more than a shoulder shrug.
Tomorrow it's going to be in the 90s. 78 would feel like a cool day.
That's the other thing. You're going to play a triple header tomorrow potentially, and you're going to be playing on the surface of the sun.
It's going to be very, very toasty.
Yeah.
Bring your sunscreen to the ballpark tomorrow for
Drink
Father's
water.
Day. Drink water.
Drink Zen water.
Stay hydrated with our friends from Zen Water. That's what Mike Schaefer and I are doing right now. Plus, we have a really cool golf bag that you could come by, scan the QR code. Look, you're killing time right now, right? You're not watching a baseball game. There's not a baseball game to be played because the weather is bad. But you could register to win this very cool Max Homa Zen Water golf bag. Pretty neat.
It could be.
So, yeah, that's what's going on with the Brits overseas. 78 degrees.
Wow.
It's an incredible day.
They're so pale. Hopefully they have SPS 50.
I think they might. As we smelling the...
Well, yeah, what's it smell like now that the doors have been shut?
Smells like a College World Series Saturday where people have been outside all day long. It's wafting right now.
The stink.
It's here. And look, I'm not going to judge. I'm going to take a shower when I get home. What are you doing after the show tonight, Schaefer?
I had plans to attend a birthday. That will not be happening.
Oh.
I guess I'll probably just end up sitting at my in-laws. So that sounds fun.
Well,
I'm going to need to get
three
food.
body problem.
Chris never got us food.
We saw Chris. We forgot to ask him what's up with the lack of food. Very, very
So
sad.
food will be on, I'll be on the hunt for food.
Why Not Hoiberg tweets in. First of all, he said, hello, darkness, my old friend. Thank you very much for that. But adds, most of Europe doesn't have air conditioning. All right, 78 degrees with no AC. I wouldn't like that. I'm a little surprised. The amount of people at my apartment complex that do not have air conditioning on, they have their windows open even when it's 80s outside. That's not how I like to operate. I am an AC guy.
Yeah, I'm pro AC.
You and I handshake mean. We like the cold on the inside.
I would imagine, I don't know if it's the same way in Britain, but certainly in some of the other European countries, not all of them even have like refrigeration. It's you go to the market, you get your food for the day. So that things are a little bit different.
Text coming in from Will says, if you want good weather coverage and forecasting, try the site called Max Velarity. And then he adds, last text for a while, putting myself in the penalty box for bad texts. He had some odd ones the other day, and I just said, these texts are wild. And now he is penalizing himself.
Wow.
That's very sad. But, yeah, right now, the only weather app that I need is just looking out this window and seeing that it's not very nice outside.
Not nice at all.
Not nice at all. If you were coming to this game tonight as a fan, you think you'd be in your car on your way home yet?
Yeah, I probably would have left. But I also don't have patience for the weather delay.
Oh, that's interesting. How long are you okay with chilling for the weather delay? And does it matter if the game is started or not?
Well, ideally the game would start. I mean, last year I was at a Cubs Guardians game that we went into the stadium and then they announced the delay, and then we had to wait 2 hours for the game to start.
That's horrible.
And so you're just kind of stuck there. But I mean, I used it as an opportunity to get very friendly with the nearest beer guy, and proceeded to
get free beer.
And Shelby was pregnant at the time, so like I basically was just drinking for two.
Nice.
And I took that challenge and I really went after it.
Oh, do you want to tell us how many you had?
I don't remember offhand. I would say in the 2 hour delay, 6, 7.
Nice.
You were talking the big beers too.
You got friendly. Was he hooking
Did
you
they
up?
give you baseball cards when you got a beer?
What?
And then I just gave them all back at the end, so that way he could hand them out to other people.
That's nice.
I didn't really want to carry the baseball cards around.
What do you do with baseball cards at a baseball game? They're going to get bent.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to add Mark Grace to my personal collection.
Understandably
They're all Cubs
so.
cards.
I remember one time Mark Grace was playing against the Diamondbacks, and he had to pitch in that game.
He was playing against the Diamondbacks?
Wasn't he a Cub?
Well, he was a Cub, but then he finished his career with the Diamondbacks.
I believe this was when he was with the Cubs.
Still a Cub.
Or maybe he was with Arizona. The game was in Arizona.
Yeah.
And
I
think
he was a Diamondback.
He had to pitch in that game because they were getting destroyed and didn't want to waste anyone's arm.
Do position players pitching, does that entice you as a non-baseball guy?
No, because it means the game is bad. So, it's not as interesting as like Ndamukong Suh kicking an extra point.
Okay.
Dan tweets in, the only app you need is Windows. Yeah, that was poor sentence structure on my part, Dan. I was just trying to say the window's in front of me. I don't need an app I can look outside. It's kind of what I was saying. Very old man of me. I apologize. All right, I've reached that age, have I not? All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll have some more sports and sports-related topics for you on the other side. Hopefully get an update. Probably won't get an update, but we can hope, right?
There's always hope.
In the words of Andy Dufresne and Shawshank Redemption, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on hoping. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, Josh Otson as well, watching the dark clouds here outside the Chuck on 1620 The Zone.
Great Plains Home Exteriors is Omaha's premier home exterior expert. Trust their experienced craftsmen for your window replacement projects. Whether you've been hit with storms or just due for a replacement, they offer several different brands and styles of windows that can be the perfect finishing touch to the exterior of your home. Gutters keep clogging? Get leaf guards installed before the leaves start to fall this year. For more information and to schedule a free estimate on a project, go to gphomeomaha.com. That's gphomeomaha.com. It's time to make a game plan for game day parking. During big events, curbside parking in Omaha has a higher event rate. So save money for peanuts and Cracker Jack by parking in a garage or surface lot. You can even reserve an off-street parking space days, hours, or minutes in advance with the Park mobile app. Learn more about where to park and how to pay at parkomaha.com.
To be a part of Nebraska Medicine
Hi, welcome.
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity, to advancement and impact, to extraordinary teamwork.
That went really well.
Together, for each other and for our community. Because within the doors of Nebraska Medicine,
Good to see you.
we welcome your curiosity, value your voice,
Dr. Richards, what do you think?
and partner with you to chart your path to do the extraordinary. Together.
You got this.
This is our commitment we never take for granted. Because when you open the doors
Let me get that.
to Nebraska Medicine, you open yourself to an academic experience, a life experience, an extraordinary team experience beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong.
Ready?
Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety and the lowest prices in the entire state of Nebraska. Don't believe us? See page after page of products and pricing online at twistedthunder.com, where you can watch everything before you buy and choose local pickup so it's ready to go for you at the tent. Go to twistedthunder.com to check out all of our locations in Nebraska, as well as our location in Council Bluffs. That's twistedthunder.com.
At Rotella's Italian Bakery, they put unsurpassed product quality into everything they bake. Old world skill and experience are masterfully blended with modern efficiencies to create the delicious breads, rolls, hamburger and hot dog buns, and other specialty products that have delighted their customers since 1921. Combining customer satisfaction with uncompromising quality is their goal. Rotella's Italian Bakery, a century of pride in every slice. To see the full menu of products, visit rotellasbakery.com.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is West Omaha's headquarters for specialty pizzas and award-winning char-buffed wings. Enjoy games on their updated video and audio system and huge LED wall. Their main location on 173rd and Center is the perfect place to beat the heat with family and friends for the college baseball tournament. They also have a second carryout location at 162nd and West Maple Street, featuring the same great pizzas and wings. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, home of the Big O Pizza and award-winning char-buffed wings.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Velocity is currently seeking participants to wear a Fitbit watch for 31 days with compensation of up to $200. Some other current studies includes low T, COPD, flu, pediatric, infant, and RSV. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages. See current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com, compensation for study-related time and travel, and find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
The Omaha Baseball Village at the Old Mattress Factory is bigger and better than ever, welcoming hundreds of vendors and boutiques. Fabletics is on site with trendy and cute clothes in your team's favorite colors. Check out new bats from Rawlings and Easton, as well as cutting-edge protective gear for the ball player in your life. And you won't find a better photo op at the series to post. OBV is open to the public every day from 11 to 9. Follow them on social media at Omaha Baseball Village or visit omahobaseballvillage.com to learn more.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer with you from the Omaha Baseball Village. The rain is here. The ground is now all the way wet, and the lightning strikes have begun. just looks gray outside as we await any sort of word. We appreciate you tuning in. How about this from Tony on the YouTube page? Mark Grace was pitching a 19-1 game with the Diamondbacks and was the pitcher for David Ross's first career home run. How the hell did I remember that random game?
You didn't know which team he was on, but you did pretty well with it.
Thank
overall.
you. Thank you. I would say that I'm a baseball man, Mike Schaefer. I'm a baseball man.
Well, baseball man, do you think there will be more baseball tonight?
Well, if there is, it's not going to be for quite some time. We continue to await any sort of word. It's been quiet. What does the quiet make you think of in this regard? I always start to wonder, are they talking with ESPN about tomorrow? Are they?
I think a lot of it is figuring out the logistics. If you have to go tomorrow, what does that look like? How soon do you want to let the teams know? Because they're just sitting around waiting.
Correct.
Unlike
at a certain point, they're going to want to go home.
Yeah,
go to the hotel, get some rest.
That's always the hard part in these situations is the people that have to actually go and play are sitting around waiting just like you are too.
Yeah.
But they have to go and perform, and the expectation is they shouldn't be affected by this. But you never know.
Correct.
And, so then...
And there are two other games tomorrow and two teams that are playing for their lives.
Right.
Virginia and Florida State are playing to continue their seasons. Will they be playing at 1 or will they be playing at a to-be-determined time because there is either a full game or some of another game that is going to happen before them? I mean, at the very least, it's like there are two decisions or like one of two paths, I guess, that you can take. The first is you hold out and you say, we are going to wait this storm and we are going to get this game in tonight, no matter what time it is, as long as, of course, you start before 11. So that's one path. I really don't think, though, Schaefer, that they're not going to start and stop just given the way that this storm is scheduled to be. And you're looking at some recent radar, some new radar. So if I'm wrong on this, correct me, but it seems like there's not going to be a window to start until sometime after 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it's been for a while. And that's what it was before they even went into the delay. I mean,
Correct.
That's been consistent throughout.
Yes.
Now, it did start earlier. At one point, it looked like it wasn't going to start till after 8.
So maybe
2 hours better than 1 hour.
So maybe
at the same time, you could have at least played up until about 7:15 before
Correct.
things really changed.
Before now, yeah.
And instead, now you're looking at hopefully you can get guys up, get them loose, get them going, because then you got to get your pitcher going. You got to get guys the opportunity to get loose. The umpires have to make their way back from the hotel.
Exactly.
And then here's the other thing. Like, is it better for the College World Series if you play on Sunday morning and fans haven't had to wait for 5 hours around to then show up to watch this game and you get a smattering of people at 11 o'clock at night? Or is it better just play at 9 in the morning?
Yeah, and you're going to have a lesser crowd just because of the
Either
weird
way,
time.
you're losing some people.
You're losing some people 100%. So here are the two paths. One, the path that we just described, and that is hold out, wait until after 10, try your darndest to start this thing at 10:59 or earlier, and play the baseball game as long as it goes, and it'll probably end. If you start at around 10, I don't know, it's Nick Grimm.
Yeah.
You're probably ending
He's
the
off
game.
to fix some watches.
And you got to tell him about that. You're probably playing until, let's just be very kind, at least 1, but probably after 1, probably closer to 2.
Yeah.
So that's option A. Option B is you punt now and you tell everybody to go home because you're playing baseball tomorrow morning. Those are the only two options. I don't think there's any other option, mainly because of what we talked about. They're not going to start and get in a few innings and then say, all right, it's
the
now
first
too
option
late.
was you start the game on time so you at least get something in tonight.
So we skipped option 1, and now there's options 2 and 3.
And neither one seems particularly great.
Yeah, and so then to go back to this kind of whole discussion, what is the best of those two options? What option of those two options do they like more? Do they like a really late game that theoretically, you're playing it, though, on Saturday, even though it's ending on Sunday. You're playing on the same day as the earlier game.
Yeah, we heard earlier the coaches don't want to be in a situation where you could end up playing 5 straight days.
Whole lot better, though, when your game's ending at 2:30 in the
different?
morning. I would honestly say that seems worse. How long have you been up today? You're going to play till 2:30, and then you're going to have to turn around and play at 1 o'clock on Monday?
Yeah.
It's not, yes. Is that more hours than playing tomorrow morning at, let's say, 9 or 10 and finishing around noon or 1? Yes, it is more hours. But we're talking about the difference of about 8 hours and a normal night's sleep. a normal night's sleep the night before. So, yeah. Alan Bell just tweeted out a graphic. We talked to him earlier this week on the Grum. He said Omaha should be in the clear roughly 9:30 Central. Now, so we're in the clear. Let's say at 9:30 we're in the clear. And they say, let's get this stuff ready. We're still talking about
10:15.
Half hour, 45 minutes to clear everything.
Right.
And get them on the field. So,
and then guys need to get loosened up and bullpens and everything else.
10:15, again, if you want to be very, very kind, say, all right, well, that means they're ending the game at 1:15. You want to be a little more pessimistic, they're ending the game closer to 2. By God, if there's extras, who knows? And again, that's why I'm with you. I think playing tomorrow morning seems to be the more palatable option. Both options suck. Both options are really, really bad. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like as not to bring up running, I'm not going to compare myself to these guys.
Oh.
But rest and recovery is super important as an athlete. And so making sure that they get a really good night's sleep, the night before, I think is important.
Here's the potential danger if you're going to play we can get the game in at 10:15. What if this thing continues out? I mean, it looks like on the radar, it might be done at 9:30. What if it extends out? What if it scatters out? What if you have lightning that pops up after 10 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
So you have all of these different things, and you end up having to scuttle the game anyways when you could have made that decision earlier. You make everyone wait around. Now no one's got a good night's sleep, and you're going to turn around and play at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would think all of these are the things they have to kind of work through as they make this decision.
Bob says, not buying it that you're a baseball man. Hashtag CWS bandwagon. Wow. Does this guy, Bob, not know that I went to a Mariners walk-off game earlier this year? Does he not know that I will go home and I will turn on the Bally Sports app for Riss so she can watch her beloved Royals when she gets home?
So you turn it on so it's already on. So when she walks through the door, she can.
I have it as background noise when I read.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Baseball.
Yeah, that's going to make you sound like a baseball guy right there.
Nick Grimm is definitely more of a baseball
I turn the game
man
on for my wife so I can read during it.
Hey, I do love reading. Steve adds on Twitter, not related to baseball, Oilers up 2-0 for what it's worth. Schaefer, are we about to have the greatest comebacks in sports history at the same time?
In two different sports?
Can you imagine?
I cannot.
Yeah, probably for the best not to bet on that happening. But what if it did?
What if it did?
What if it did indeed?
We would get wall-to-wall coverage of whatever happened in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we are going to come back and we will wrap up the show. Just got word that we are going to finish up on our end. We will probably log off without any sort of official word. So
well, that is unfulfilling.
It is unfulfilling. You will drive to wherever you're going, your in-laws.
Yes.
Get some food along the way.
Probably.
And then we'll go from there. Nick Grimm is here. He looks sad. He looks a little sad. Thanks for visiting us. Didn't bring John along. John still never comes to the OBV. Someday I'll see him. All right, we will come back. We will wrap this bad boy up and send you off into the night. Josh Peterson, Mike Schaefer, Josh Hodson with you here on 1620 The Zone.
Curveballs belong in baseball, not your bank. When you choose Access Bank for your personal or commercial banking needs, you'll know what to expect every time. Personalized all-in-one service from experts who know banking and the Omaha Metro. Access Bank has convenient branch locations and easy online solutions. Because we're here for a reason, to make your experience a home run. Learn more at accessbank.com. Member FDIC.
Experience the difference and save more when you shop at one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations. And right now, it's more affordable than ever to get behind the wheel of a new vehicle when you visit a Woodhouse Ford dealership. Going on now, save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT with approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/08/2024. See dealer for details.
Upgrade your hydration this summer with Zen Water. Ultra pure, refreshing alkaline water. Zen Water transforms you with every quenching sip. Vapor distilled for ultra purity with the perfect blend of electrolytes added for taste. Zen Water is pure, elevated water. To learn more, visit zenwater.com. ZENWTR.com. And stop by your local retailer to find your Zen today.
In the heart of the country is a children's hospital at the forefront of pediatric innovation, where teddy bears and coloring books meet leading-edge treatment and technology, where warm smiles and a human touch go hand in hand with tools like remote patient monitoring and robotic-assisted surgery, and where a committed team of healthcare providers believes innovation is best used to deliver better care for kids. Children's Nebraska. Believe in better.
Why wait for your perfect landscape when Patera can get it booked now and installed in plenty of time to enjoy this summer? Gorgeous, healthy trees and bushes, a colorful garden with a water feature, a berm, a beautiful new patio. Whatever you're imagining for curb appeal or more privacy, Patera can book your project now so you can enjoy your perfect landscape and cookouts this summer. Patera, Omaha's best. PateraLandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera. Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery. Make the right call.
An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Be your own champion. Choose more movement. Choose better health. Choose physical therapy. Find out more information and a physical therapist at choosept.com/NE. Brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association of Nebraska.
Success in today's electrical market requires your company to be able to adjust to an ever-changing field. A partnership with IBEW Local 22 gives you that flexibility with access to journeymen, apprentices, proven training programs, marketing assistance, entry into markets not available before, ability to expand and contract with changing market conditions, and a benefits package for you and your employees. Contact Bob at IBEW Local 22 for additional details at 402-980-7596.
Now back to the Men's College World Series special live from Omaha Baseball Village, powered by Children's Nebraska and Access Bank on 1620 The Zone.
To Mike Schaefer, Josh Hodson, or as Shape calls him, OJ. OJ in the house.
Other Josh.
Other Josh. And we're getting ready to wind down here at the Omaha Baseball Village. We'll be back tomorrow. You and I will at some point in time. Don't know what time that will be.
Don't know if there will be a game played. We don't know who will potentially have won that game.
We know 2 games will be played tomorrow. We can confirm that there will be 2 games. Virginia, Florida State, and North Carolina, Tennessee. I was looking at the schedule for the 17th. I apologize, Mr. Mike Schaefer. So we know that UVA will play Florida State. I'm going to that game with my family.
Oh, wow.
Don't know what time, but I'm going to that game with my family. Great seats.
Who will you be rooting for?
Florida State, I think, would make things more interesting. Give me FSU.
Yeah, I would like to see Florida State bounce back after the loss on Friday night.
I'm worried for them, though.
I really want that game with Tennessee.
Yeah.
I would like to see the semifinals to get into the College World Series finals happen between those 2 teams.
So real quick, you want Florida State to win tomorrow, then you want Tennessee to win, then you want Florida State to beat North Carolina, and then you want them to face Tennessee.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds fun. And then beat them
So basically,
again.
North Carolina goes 0-2. Florida State would have to win 3 straight.
Okay.
To then force
the winner take all.
Yes.
The winner goes to the College World Series.
That is
final.
what we deserve.
All right, that sounds fun.
We had to sit through this. We had to make up radio as it came.
Talked about Zodiac.
Yeah, we did talk about Zodiac.
Kind of want to go home and watch Zodiac.
I do
now.
also kind of want to go home and watch
Probably
Zodiac.
go home and read, honestly. Don't know if I'll be watching baseball. So for one final time as we get ready to say goodbye, here's what we know and what we think essentially the decision is between. We think that coming into the game tonight, there were three options. They skipped over the first option very, very quickly. The first option was start the game, get as much as you can in before the weather arrives, go from there. They punted on that option at about 5:30, I think was when the news came down that we were in a weather delay. So then they moved on to where they sit right now, and that is option 2 and option 3. And we both feel pretty good on which option they're going to choose, and that is we think that they're going to start this game sometime before 11 o'clock tonight, and then they will go from there. They are allowed to start it before 11. If you got to 11:01, sorry, this game is automatically punted towards tomorrow. The weather is supposed to clear out in less than 2 hours, so they could start it well before 11, and then that game will end in the wee hours of Sunday, June the 16th. The other option, if they were to choose it, and if they were, I think that they would have done it by now, would be to just punt on this game and move it to tomorrow morning. But the fact that, Schaefer, we have gotten 2+ hours now into the delay tells me that that option is not one that they want to do for a variety of reasons. One, the loser of that game would end up playing in a lot of games in a few amount of days.
Which is still true.
Still true, again, because the game is going to end. If they go with option 2, it's going to end sometime in the wee hours of Sunday. So they don't want to do that. TV, I'll be sympathetic, certainly. They have schedules, but I'll also say it's Sunday morning, and you don't own the U.S. Open, right? So it's what are you airing on Sunday morning? In my opinion, not a big deal. If anything, the ratings for a college baseball game in the morning on a Sunday will be greater than whatever else is normally on. So those are the options as we view them. We think, and I think we're all pretty confident. Again, if they were going to go with the third option, they would have announced it by now. Since they haven't, here we all sit waiting for something. And so my guess is there's going to be some baseball tonight. It's just what time will the game start, and then what time will that game end, and how much will that put the loser of that game is going to have a quick turnaround, and they're not going to get a whole lot of sleep tonight.
Yeah,
so that's going to suck.
What we have learned is 3 straight walk-offs equals long delay with no answers.
Yeah,
for game number 4.
Bummer, huge bummer.
It is a bummer.
Yeah, because this has been an amazing Men's College World Series so far. Yesterday, North Carolina 3, Virginia 2. As you said, they walked that off. Tennessee, insane comeback, 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They win that game 12-11 with a bit of controversy. No controversy, though, in Kentucky and NC State. They tie it up in the bottom of the 9th.
Clean fun.
Great fun. They tie it up in the bottom of the 9th at 4-all, and then they walk it off on a home run, 2 outs, no one on. They win 5-4 in a blast to left field. And so that is where we stand right now. This is one that, when we were doing some interviews at the start of the week, once we had the field set, and we talked about it with Farron, I believe. Hey, what's the matchup? And I asked this of a couple people. This was always the game. The last one that we're about to get. I know Tennessee, Florida State, I think was the other one, but this was a game that people were pretty jacked for. And so no matter what they do tonight or early tomorrow, the atmosphere is going to get lessened, and that stinks. Because you don't want to see that at this point in the season.
From an on-field performance thing, too, what'll be interesting is the wind will have died down significantly once the storm passes.
Great
and so
point.
then the park is going to play quite differently.
Way different, yeah.
Which, with the way Florida is able to hit the ball, could really open things up for the Gators. And with how poorly Florida has pitched, could also open things up for Texas A&M. So add to everything else, you could have a lot of runs scored if you start this game late, which would only add to how long the game could potentially run. A lot of pitching changes, a lot of offense, slows things down a little bit. The cooler temperatures, I don't know if that'll make the ball travel more by any means. But I am curious to see if they do start, 10:15, 10:30 at night, what that kind of does to the environment of which they're going to play it.
And you could argue, too, man, looking forward, I guess they're Wednesday, high of 75, low of 66. My argument was going to be this weirdly might end up being the best weather for any game the entire series, given the lack of wind, like you said, and the temperatures have cooled down obviously considerably around here with the storm rolling in. So could end up being a pretty comfortable evening.
Yeah.
Hope you have a towel or a lot of things to dry off your seat.
Maybe they will have the people who just walk by with towels that they've already wiped down 47 seats, but they're still going to wipe down that next one even though it will do nothing.
It's just going to move the water
Yeah.
around. It'll get the big puddles off, and then it'll just be streaky.
I've experienced that at stadiums where it's
Many
like,
times.
I'm just like, don't even bother.
Like the game that you were at when you were hanging out with the
we
beer
were under
guy.
an overhang.
Oh.
So, like, it's just raining, and we were dry the entire time.
That's awesome.
So, it was, I don't think Shelby liked sitting there for 2 hours, but it was fine. I had a good time.
Yeah, you had a great time.
I drank plenty of beer.
So that's what we know for this one. Again, a bummer. We are going to be logging off in just a few minutes. Don't know when we will be sending it back up into the booth with John and Gary, and then Happer down on the field. Nick Grimm doing great stuff as well. Chris Prudon helping out. But we will be hearing from them at some point tonight. They will hop on the air and they will make some sort of an announcement, whether it's play ball or whether it's this thing is getting moved until tomorrow. That said, whatever the decision is, we just hope that we're able to learn a few more things or just anything really over the course of the next few minutes as we move on into the 8 o'clock hour. We are now 2+ hours in on this weather delay. It's been about 2.5 hours since it officially came down. An ominous tweet from John Bishop got this thing started. Stay tuned for weather information.
We're still staying tuned, John. Where are you?
Yeah, tune us.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is he? We saw Nick Grimm.
He took a break from.
And you told him he
tuning
looks like a
clocks.
watchmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
what did
does.
he say? How did he feel about that?
He was mostly interested to see what type of watches he would be working on.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't seem to be against the idea.
Am I a digital watchmaker? Am I not digital
Well,
watch?
I would think it's less digital, more.
I would assume so.
Handpiece.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, that's what we know. Shape, as we get ready to say goodnight, any leftover takes that you've had today? We haven't talked a whole lot.
The baseball has been good. I am really excited for this game, selfishly, since I know that I will be able to leave here with a resolution as to what's happening for me. There is a part of me that wouldn't mind going back to my in-laws and just being able to throw the game on later tonight, because chances are I won't want to go to sleep right away.
Nice.
I don't have a planned run for the morning or anything that I have to worry about.
What about a book?
I don't have a book. I didn't bring a book with me. I have an
Audiobook?
audiobook
You
that
could
I will
throw
listen to on the way to the in-laws.
You could throw the audiobook on.
Yeah, I could. And if the weather wasn't bad outside, I could sit out back. They have a fire pit that's very nice. But that doesn't help me in this scenario.
No, you want to watch the game.
Yeah.
Oh, and the weather, yeah. I
Well, the
forgot.
weather would be more.
That's why we're in this situation. There
Yeah.
was a world where you were actually at some party tonight having
At a
great
birthday
time,
party, drinking some beer, eating some pizza.
and instead you got to sit next to me and Josh Odson.
Now I get to decide which sad fast food place I want to hit on my way home.
Well, I hope that it's delicious food. I hope
Could
that
be.
it fills you up. I can't wait to go home and find some food myself.
People like to wave at you when you're on the air.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Wow, that guy just
Yeah, he's just throwing stuff at us.
harsh. All righty. Thank you to everyone for helping out today. Thanks for sticking with us as the night has gotten very, very long. Stay tuned for updates at some point in time. You and I will be back on the air tomorrow.
Yeah.
My guess, we're going to be on the air at 10 o'clock like normally planned, and we will go from there. Give me Florida to win, by the way.
Florida tonight. I'm with you.
All right. For Schaefer, for Odson, I'm Josh Peterson. Have a great night. See you later.
Attention baseball fans, are you ready for the ultimate college